never caught a squid on a proper squid jig. I don't. I mean, they had these in the shop. They were like a pack of 6, I think. Can you get different types? Yes. Can you spend a lot more money? You really can. Well, that's the water in front of us. It is crystal clear, just what I want to see. Again, I say crystal clear. Do I really want it to be crystal clear? I don't know. I don't know. You would assume, you know, these squid are going to see stuff in the water a lot easier if it's clearer. Just want to give it a go. I really want to catch a squid. It'll be the first time I've done it on a proper squid jig. So yeah, it's a lovely calm evening. Wait for it to get dark. I have caught squid in Australia in 1998, so I think enough time has passed. But I'm going to jump on a bandwagon because squid are being caught across these beaches in Sussex. Friends are giving me lots of tips, telling me how to do it, but honestly, if you think this is going to be a beginner's guide or anything like that, forget about that. You're not going to get competence here, but what you are going to get is me honestly trying, using one of these things, to catch a squid. And we've got 2 different setups. We've got the normal lure rod here. That's with the that's just with my normal Crimson 8 and a bit foot lure rod, and I'm just going to cast it out in a minute. Cast it out there, and I assume, I say assume because I don't know, I assume you just bring it back in. Maybe it's different, maybe you need to vary the retrieve just to try and pick up on these squid. So we're going to give it a go. There's no shortage of tips on Facebook. Some of my friends have given me a bit more in-depth knowledge, but all that's really done is made me think I know absolutely nothing about this. So we will, once it gets dark, we're going to flick that out. I've got braided line there, that's the braided line, and I've got what we call a fluorocarbon leader, simply because that's what I use for lure fishing. I don't know whether squid prefer a lighter line, maybe I should be using sort of 6-7 pound line. Maybe I should be retrieving it quickly, slowly, who knows? I don't know, but I'm hoping you'll join me and we'll give this a good old go. You can see the little spiky things on there, can't you? And the squid will attack this, so I'm told, and it will get its tentacles caught up on that, not like a normal hook. So yeah, that's one setup, and then the other setup, just using that high tide rod. I mean, I'm assuming you can get dedicated squid rigs, but I haven't used this for a while. This is a bait caster reel. So I'm just going to cast this one out with a float, and then the float has a stop knot on it on there, so you can set the height, and then that'll just sit out there. And then I might utilise these little glow sticks, and next time you see it, it'll be in the dark, and I'll click that, and that'll hopefully attract the squid, using the little mini lure clips there as well. So that is the setup. It's simply a case of, you know, travelling light, giving it a go. This has got mono line on it. Got to be a little bit more careful with the cast than you do with a fixed spool. Make sure that's all tight before I cast again. So with this float, again, I mean, I'm just going to try leaving the float, leaving it sort of drift in. I'm going to try little flicks. I'm going to try fast and slow, just get a good variety of different ways of doing it. No problem with these things, although it's only like a little budget one, this, from Decathlon. Bad as a plan B. Suppose I've got to be careful I don't assume these are like bass and start retrieving this like bass. So let's give this a go. If you're new to fishing, sort of fishing in general, this is a fixed spool reel, and then you just take the line here, in this case is braid, and then click that bail arm over so that when you cast, that comes flying off that spool. That's the theory. I do overfill these spools a little bit, but that's it really. I'm going to cast this out. Well, that's got a little weight on there, so that will sink down, and then, I mean, just pay attention to where the flow of the water's going, because it might sink down and shoot round. And now, who knows? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Have a little. I mean, there's no one else sort of fishing for them here. There might be someone over there actually, but just little taps, you know, little taps. I suppose you need to make that look like a little fish. And then I'm not waiting for a great big run. Got half an eye, and there's a guy over there who's retrieving it in, and maybe that's something I'll try in a minute. I did have a friend tell me that the other thing to do is sort of vary the retrieve, sometimes be fast, sometimes be slow, and then these squid change their mind. So as I say, this is not a how-to. Please comment, you know, if you've caught squid in the UK off a beach, what have you noticed about them? Because there'll be people here who've never caught a squid, like myself, in anger, and they'll certainly benefit from everyone's comments. See, look, I'm just thinking it's like bass. Yeah. Suppose I've got to be careful I don't assume these are like bass and start retrieving this like bass. So let's give this a go. If you're new to fishing, sort of fishing in general, this is a fixed spool reel, and then you just take the line here, in this case is braid, and then click that bail arm over so that when you cast, that comes flying off that spool. That's the theory. I do overfill these spools a little bit. Little comment on marks. Everyone's very keen to know where you're fishing, and I get that. Squid can be found on lots of shingle beaches at the moment. That's the main thing. See, we haven't got darkness yet. Right, I'm going to go try back to kind of a bit slower. Someone's turned up and stood right next to me. Obviously caught from there before. But why do people do that? It's literally, you know, 10 yards. Yeah, I see. we're in. Here it comes. Beautiful. Yeah. Look at that. That is magnificent, isn't it? What a beautiful creature. Oh, lovely. That was sort of in close and little taps. But it did drift round, the line sort of drifted round. I don't know if they've taken in close, do they? I don't know. Oi, loads of them there, look. It's squirting the ink. It's squirting the ink there, look. Oi, loads of them there, look. It's squirting the ink. Here he comes. Ah, but he got off. You just see the ink down there. He got on and then got off. I don't know whether you are meant to strike. Obviously you're not setting a barb on a hook, are you? So, who knows? There's one. Here he comes. I dropped it. I let it hit the bottom and then I sort of dragged it along the bottom. Maybe try again. Beautiful. Oh, there we go. We're in, yeah. Let's try and play that one in a little bit better. It's like a steady retrieve. I mean, it's obviously not fighting like a fish. Oh, what incredible species they are. There you go. It's doing its squiddy ink thing. Yeah, I just ducked out of the way as that came in. There he is. Whoa, look at that. What a beautiful creature. Look at it. That's quite a good size, I think. Well, someone can tell me there are different types, aren't there? Look at that. Beautiful. Simple way of fishing, easy to unhook. Right, let's dispatch that. But that brings me nicely onto today's sponsors, which are Jackery. This is the Jackery V500, and I've really been utilising this for sort of outdoor things, figure out what you would get the most use out of it for. For me, it's great for things like the drone, charging up, and tonight we're going to have torches. Say you're out camping, you can have it in the car. You've got a 100 watt and a 30 watt USB-C. I've actually had this in the back of the car, where I've plugged in the light so I can see what I'm doing. Also an aerator, really useful as we come into October for those pouting. Another good thing is water resistance. So today we've got a little bit of light rain, but I just know that that'll be absolutely fine in there. Really nice carrying handle, and I do need to charge my torch up as well. Charges things really quickly as well. Certainly that USB-C, the 100 watts USB-C, really zaps it into the iPhone for your phone as well. So it really is good. I mean, we'll use the light on there today, no doubt. Super bright. I will leave a link in the description below where you can get your Jackery unit just like this. It really is ever so good. There's a link in the description and you can get 5% off with the code ANGLER05. You can also buy one on Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description. There, got me. So that was like slow across the bottom. I don't know whether the light affects them. I'm going to turn this torch off. No one else has got one. So yeah, obviously not as invigorating as a bass. Not but just as it's getting dark. There we go, in again. Yeah. Ooh. Great fun, absolutely brilliant fun. Must be there in good numbers. Loads of these, mate. Squid. Just let me have a little tap at it. I don't know, you know, were the good old days of squid fishing? I don't know. You know, is this something that's totally new? Certainly new for me, but maybe someone can tell me. A couple of old fellas next to me that look like they've been doing it for years. So yeah, I mean, at the moment, the character of these squid is they just want little taps, and then sort of one every sort of 4 casts like that. But what I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to see if there's any difference if I just sort of zap it across the surface. Certainly one had it on the drop there. I'm going to go up on this shingle in a minute as it gets dark. What great fun. I've been a little bit quieter because I'm surrounded by people and no one wants a shouty man, do they? Let me just try and fizz one really quick, see what happens. Okay, I'm going to let that one drop. I'm just going to try and retrieve it really quickly for a change. It's almost across the surface. I'll do a couple of casts like that and I'll report back and see. Right, so that's a few casts fast and nothing's happened, but bear with us because as we get into darkness I want to see if the catch rate ups or we stop catching or we have to change our technique. I mean, at the moment everything is slow, isn't it? We're being really slow. I wonder whether when it gets dark it might be a bit different. We might even get some right close in, mightn't we? Wow, great fun. Absolutely great fun. Love it. This is absolutely brilliant. Great fun. Just... Ooh, got another one. Right in front of me. Yeah. Keeps getting off. That was almost dragged. That's been the 4th one I've missed. I don't know if it's the... I don't know why. And maybe I've got to play them a little bit firmer, less firm, don't know. Right, so I'm just going to set up this second rod with 2 on it. Bit of a bodge. I've got a starlight somewhere. Right, I see that's going to be on the end. A bit of a starlight there. And then I'm going to put another one. There's a little dropper on here. I don't know if that'll make a difference. These are the Magic Axia ones. Let's go. I don't know. Does it make a difference of colour? What do you reckon? I don't think so. I'm just going to tie it. I'll leave those two ready. Next time I get in a tangle with the other one, we'll try that. Hey! As he squirted the ink. Another one. Lovely. Yes. Beauty. Bouncing it off the shingle now. In again. I didn't affect it. Nice. It's just got off. I don't know if there's any UV element to this. Need a proper UV light really. You can get a little bit of a glow from that. Let's try that. Let's see that. That's the biggest one yet. Fantastic. A beautiful thing. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, and it tastes nice too. We'll have a look later, see how we cook them. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, now, have we got two? Have we got two? Let's have a look. We've got one. Another biggie there. Fantastic. Oh, it likes that. Yeah, straight in with this one. That's better, isn't it? Yeah. That's coming up on the doubler. Another one. Sucker. I don't know. Does it make any difference the colour? Let's have a change. We've not had anything for sort of 5 or 6 minutes, whereas we were getting a sort of a nibble every couple of casts. So let's just change that. You see in here. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful things. Oh, we'll have a look at cooking those, I think. So I've got pink one on there, and I might put on some of this gobble bait. This is like sticky goo. Whether that'll make a difference to the squid, I don't know. Certainly not getting some at the moment. Let's just try this. Alright, let's cast this one out. We'll see. It's just started to rain. I don't know whether the rain affects the squid fishing. It's been about 10 minutes, nothing, maybe 15 minutes. So two different things I'm going to try is, I'm going to just try really fizzing it, you know, fast. Give that a little go. Make a difference. I don't know whether they take it off the surface. I'll cast that out. I don't even give it time to settle. Bring it across. I'll give that a little go. Well, nothing with that, so let's just try a steady retrieve, not tipping it at all, just bringing it in. As is so often the case, you think you're going to get into millions of squid and then it's gone quiet for about half an hour. I mean, I'm made up, absolutely made up with what I've got, but I do wonder whether, you know, we've tried flashing it quick, we've tried going nice and slow. We've tried going nice and slow or steady retrieve. Just nothing. I'm sure there's people getting them. Maybe a float would have helped. I'm going to give it 2 more casts. Yeah, lovely. It's always that bit, isn't it, where, you know, I was quite elated to have all those squid. Brilliant, great fun. And things have gone a little bit flat, and I haven't got the skills to bring these keep calling them fish. You know, I should be able to change it up and do something different. I've flashed this across, I've bounced it, I've gone slow, I've gone fast, I've still. So we've dispatched it, we knock it over the top of the head, I know that much, and then it's sort of, I suppose there's 2 parts in here. That's the bit with all the 2 parts, a head and a body. That's obviously covered in squid ink, that's obviously covered in that ink there, look at that. Suckers are incredible, aren't they? The feet of evolution there. Wow. Yeah, so I'm just going to prepare it as best as I can and sort of figure it out as I go. You've got that little cartilage in there. Do you reckon you need to take that off? What do you reckon? Maybe. Right. In there is that bony bit, that cartilage. I'll see if I can take that out in a oneer. It might be a bit easier. Sort of comes out, doesn't it? Bony bit there as well. I'm sure you can eat this bit, but I might just keep that for little bits of bait and then make rings out of this. Good. loads of ink in there, isn't there? Yeah, just sort of put all that shit out, all the guts in there. That must, I guess that contains all the parts. Lovely. Well, that's looking pretty good. Didn't get much fresher than that. Maybe that needs to be a bit neater. Give that another rinse. I'll give that another rinse. I think that's going to taste lovely. We'll have a little taste. Right, let's go. Call the fire brigade. A couple of minutes. You don't want to overcook them. I've certainly cooked them in the past and they've been too tough. So let's just add a little bit of lemon. Well, it's not going to get much fresher than that. I'd say that was, well, depending when I called it. Right, genuine reaction now. Well, thanks for watching. I will taste it, but yeah, like I said, this video really was an exploration into fishing for squid, and I keep calling it fishing. It's an exploration into catching squid, cooking it and then eating it. I don't know if you have ever caught squid. Is it something you want to do? I thoroughly recommend it. I had a really good time catching them, and I absolutely love the taste of it. Right. Oh. Alright, lovely. Not everyone likes squid, but that's absolutely brilliant. Oh, that tastes so different to the frozen stuff obviously you can get in the supermarket. I mean, oh so nice. So there we have it, the squid. I've just fried that one in lemon, a bit of ginger and some chili flakes as well. Took it into work and then everyone at work can enjoy it, although I will be having the lion's share. A little bit of bass, or sea bass as we call it if you're eating it. You see there it's got the roe as well, and samphire, all nicely cooked. I'm going to sit down at work and enjoy the fruits of that hard day's fishing. So what I'm going to do is bring 2 rods. I've had a look in the shed. This has got monofilament line on it, called a bait casting reel, and I think I might just sort of drift a float on this and give that a go. I'll put that with the high tide rod. This is an 8x8 rod. I should be able to cast it out. It's going to be quite calm conditions, so we'll try that. And then sort of my go-to lure rod, I'm just going to use that today. That's the 83 Tailwalk Crimson with a now looking very old and battered Shimano Vanford. So it is really a case of using the lure fishing tackle. I'll show you the float setup. I have no idea what jigs to use other than they need to have those spikes on them, you see on here. So squid, although I have hooked a squid on a lure before on a normal treble hook, these are designed so squid will latch on, but their tentacles, I guess, get stuck on these things here. So again, I've got no idea, because you want a how-to. Maybe this isn't the best video for you because I am no expert, a total beginner with squid fishing, but I know that people use these. These have got weights on them as well. I'm just going to try different methods of retrieving them. I don't know whether you should let them drop through. I don't know whether you should fish them fast. Does squid change their preferences? Who knows? Does colour matter? We're going to find out. But yeah, I just went for this because it was the cheapest. There are better makes. I'm just looking online, and there are better makes of squid jigs. You know, the Megabass versions almost. So obviously this is, you know, a little bit luminous in there. There's no UV on there, I don't think. Lots of different float options. I've even got like a bombarder float here, and then I might just hang the squid jig under that float. Really is a good product. I've been using it. I've been taking out in all sort of conditions as well. I wouldn't recommend something that I didn't rate myself. So thank you, Jackery, for sponsoring this episode.